This is American Trash.
Episode 3. Thanks for tuning in once again, or if it's your first time, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
We pull topics out of this fishbowl.
Mhm.
There's all sorts of exciting things to talk about. We add these things every week. We take ideas out of the comments. Feel free to throw topics at us and add them to the fishbowl. Be pretty fun. And we talk about it. We've been lifelong conspiracy theorists.
And we met doing comedy like 21 years ago.
Yep.
So we try.
Semi-professional funny people.
Very funny. We're
Well, let's kick it off right away. Just see what we're talking about. Jumping right in. Topic number 1. What are the pyramids?
Well, there's the thought that like because the way they're lined up and then so they make sounds.
It's just a big musical instrument. Like, that's what all the pyramids
I
are.
don't know where I got that. Oh, like okay, so like say there's a pyramid and then there's a hole in the ceiling.
Okay.
And it lines up with like an astrological.
Right. Like points to like the Sirius star system, or it points to like, certain star in the Big Dipper or
And
something
like
like that.
how did people in the pyramid days
It's called the pyramid.
it is now, that's what we're calling them, the pyramid days know where things were in the sky. Well, they can see like the Big Dipper.
Yeah, but how you line them up? Like when you look at this, like all sorts of things about the pyramids are fascinating. How they line up to the star systems. Oh, like all over the planet Earth, there are pyramids in very similar fashion, built in very similar ways by ancient, quote unquote, civilizations that didn't have the ability to communicate with
Were
one
they
another.
just traveling around like the Earth that much? I don't think so.
They're like, hey, let
And
me get in this.
vehicles
Let me
or-
get in this boat real quick.
Right.
And
Like really paddle fast.
I gotta tell everybody about these
Because like
pyramids,
that and then build them.
and then be like, hey, let me help you build this. And then I'm like, I gotta go.
Or
I gotta
maybe-
tell everyone else about the pyramids.
You know what they probably did? They paddled really fast to the next continent.
Okay.
And then they didn't build them, but they wrote down the plan for the build.
They didn't write it down while they were on the boat on the way over. They had like
In time.
yeah, they're not
how
gonna
did
get
it.
there.
So they
then be
need
like, let
to
me write it.
scroll out and then you know see the architectural plan there.
Okay.
And then they
so they had to get to
paddle
wherever
to
they're
the next
going.
continent.
And
right?
then, oh, sure.
So that doesn't make sense, obviously. See, you
I mean,
believe
they also very much could have been energy producers. There's also the theory that there are pyramids on Mars and other planets, and it was some sort of like interdimensional communication or ability to travel. And recently, they were like did all the radar imagery where they went underneath the Great Pyramids, and they were able to see that they're actually like the top of massive obelisks, which is like, oh my god.
what is
Fascinating.
obelisk?
You know, that's at the tall, and then at the very top, like right at the top would be where the pyramid is. So if you think about where the pyramid is, like in Egypt, that's the top of like a long, super tall, long statue.
Oh yeah. Also, that they were like energy centers, like like nuclear energy center or like whatever, like an energy. That's how they got their energy for their community.
And what if like it's all wrong and like the pyramids were just like convenience stores? Like there was nothing important about it at all. And like 7-Elevens.
Well, what about like mummies not being in pyramids?
Yeah, what about that?
Why were we taught that that's where they were buried?
Right, and I remember growing up and I'm like, oh, they lived, that's where they were buried. It's
Why
like the
would you
pyramids.
just make that shit up?
Either that or like the teachers just taught a lot of us incorrectly.
No,
I don't think so.
there you have their marching orders.
But that's my issue with a whole host of problems. And like information is like it's changed even on our short little lives. We're not even halfway through, God willing, and so many things have changed.
I know, like dinosaurs have
Yeah,
feathers.
I got feathers now. Dinosaurs are birds now.
And how did you get that so?
But they were lizards for our whole life.
I don't even know the picture of them now. Like all of them, did they all have feathers?
Right.
It's
And I've
ridiculous.
never heard about a giant worm. You know what I mean? Like if they're out there like giant birds, what do they eat? Giant worms, giant seeds. Doesn't work.
Well,
Never heard about it.
no. Oh,
You think
No,
there'd
but
be
they-
giant worm carcasses all
yeah,
over the
good
place?
point. Well, they had teeth, so like gnashing teeth, like so they were probably meat eater birds,
Meat eater birds.
like vultures.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like you're so proud of yourself for finding that word. Mermaids are real?
Mm.
Yeah, I know it is. I'm the same way with the mermaids thing.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if you can find me evidence, I'll believe evidence. But like there's certain things that I I mean, I could believe that there's something out there that we haven't seen
Sure.
a lot of,
Of
or
course.
any of, like maybe like the sailors back in the like not iPhone days. We're seeing shit.
Not
See,
iPhone days. That's the our way of telling time. The pyramid days and not iPhone.
can ever remember what the like time period is that I'm referencing?
So there's been like no even like well like Bigfoot and things. There's like, oh, here's a grainy image, or like here's a bunch of smoke but no
Everything is
fire.
wrong, I
The
think. Or
the mermaid is
like,
like, I got nothing. I've never seen a picture like, hey, look, this is supposedly a mermaid. It's
you know what?
you never
Yeah,
do.
Ariel.
No, that's a Disney movie. It's not
Where
like
do you think they got the
not like a real thing.
that? What do you think they got the actors from?
Well, no,
Actress.
they just drew that.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it wasn't really based on real.
I really liked The Little Mermaid
Yeah.
up until Ursula
Yeah.
showed up, and then I turned the movie off like a million
I
times.
played Ursula. I did. It was a very progressive Little Mermaid 30 years ago, but I was Ursula.
Oh my god, I think I remember you telling me this.
But it wasn't a male Ursula. I was just like a 10 or like a 14-year-old kid playing a big fat woman.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you have like a prosthetic suit or something? Like,
Well, yeah, like a big, kind of like the fat suit and like the tentacles and stuff. This is like community theater. So like they made me a costume and everything, and I was out there like singing and dancing.
oh my god, why don't we have video?
I'm kind of happy we don't, to be honest with you. But my point is like so many things these days, because there's so many weird things happening in the world, I wouldn't be like shocked. Like if like the news came on and it was like, oh, this is Ken, he's a mermaid, and then he was like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, right.
You'd be like, oh,
And
shit.
right,
And then
when the aliens finally do like show up on TV and they're just like talking to us, I can be like, what the hell took you guys so long?
yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, did you need a big entrance? I mean, you've been working with our government since the 50s.
I would want a big entrance. Like if I was one of the aliens,
I kind of feel like they're gonna
that would be a prerequisite. There's no way I.
gonna probably attack me now that I said that on camera. Do you think?
No,
Oh my god,
I don't think so.
talking aliens, and now they might like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, whatever. Let him do something. You know what I mean?
Oh,
We
are
got-
you gonna?
yeah, like I'll protect you.
Yeah.
We got the mermaids on our side.
I don't think we do. We just said that.
But getting back to the whole idea of a big entrance, I think they've earned that at this point, and I think we've given it to them that they should have a big entrance. They can just limp in and like what is that?
No, I know, but I find it rude. Like they've been working for like on Earth apparently, which I do believe, since like the 50s.
Right.
Like, where do you think our technology just
Well, sure, I'm with you.
jumps like a crazy
But
amount?
clearly they're able to like cloak their
Why are
vehicles.
you, that's what I mean. Why are you hiding? Why aren't you being upfront about you being here on the planet Earth, which is ours?
What do we have to offer them really? Like if you were just like, yeah, if you were like over the dog park and you had to go do a bunch of shit in the dog park, all the dogs are running around, I'd just dress like a dog, or I'd do something where like they can't tell that I'm not a dog and go about my business.
Clearly, we have something to offer because they're always taking us up into the
They
space
just like
ship.
they want to minerals and they want like they do experiments on to figure out biology and use like
That's what we have to
splicing and all that.
offer our
Yeah,
girls.
but that's like the dog. I could just go like take a dog. I don't have to like try to be cool with
That's
the
why
dogs.
I'm saying it's rude.
Well,
It's rude.
not from their perspective.
Well, that's because they might not be able to have like empathy or like even know what right and wrong is. We don't know anything about these because they've never introduced themselves.
Are there special needs aliens?
Probably.
Well, it's just something to think about because you always think of them the same way, right? Like they're always the same way. But you never think about those probably outliers.
Oh, totally.
There's
Like if your DNA somehow got mixed up with theirs, you think
maybe
that's
extra handsome.
normal?
Extra handsome.
Maybe, but they're still going
Extra
to be
tall.
a little weird. like weird and have weird things that you do and
Yeah.
say and
I don't necessarily need the helmet or the little bus, but kind of close sometimes. But I think that aliens do have special needs, and I wonder like if they have
and they're
like
rude.
do they have like mobility assistance issues for aliens?
No,
Like
because they don't have empathy for each other.
it's
They
not about
probably
empathy;
no,
it's
I'm
about
saying
mobility.
seriously, I know, but like who's gonna make the
Hey, you think
mobility
they just
choice?
kill
I
'em?
don't think they care.
So you're saying like
We don't know.
okay,
Because they've never introduced themselves to us.
Erica the alien, right? Just like grows up and she has a horrible accident at the alien farm,
Mhm,
okay, and her leg gets blown off.
mhm.
Okay, well, what do
She's
they
just
give her?
gonna have to hop.
They don't give her any assistance. All that
I
technology.
don't know. And from what I've gathered, since they are so rude, that's probably what they make them do because I don't know better. So maybe they should let us know that they're at least not rude.
Yeah, but that's all. You just want them to say hi and not be rude. Like that seems to be the only
I
important things to you.
I really value people being nice to each other and aliens maybe being nice to each other and us. I value niceness.
You value niceness.
Mhm.
Okay, then that's like your number one quality in aliens is like, hey, you guys better be cool, like be nice.
Right? Wouldn't it be?
No,
Wouldn't
not
that be
really.
a good idea?
I would want like super cool technology.
We already
You're
have
like,
some.
I bet they got a lot more shit.
Yeah, that's true. They're holding out. That's another tick off the, you know what I mean? Like,
Like we can't let them leave the planet, and then they go back and they're like, "Well, what did they want?" And they're like, "I don't know. That one woman just wanted us to like be nice, like shake her hand, and give her respect."
I'm just
So
saying
then we left.
the pro con column is a lot con right now.
Did we go to the moon?
Fuck no. Did you see that aluminum can? It's ridiculous.
It's the actual like the spaceship is supposedly out there, like the
God.
probe or whatever.
It's just hopping around like because of the gravity.
Right,
Like,
and
like,
it's got
like
like the little
gravity.
gold tin foil thing around there.
Oh,
It's
it's so
interesting.
embarrassing.
I always thought it was so silly the whole like we never went to the moon thing, but I'm with you. I don't think we went to the moon,
Oh, no.
or if we did, it was way later or something.
Okay,
Because it
so
certainly wasn't then.
here's what I do believe. I do believe spacecraft has been to the moon. But here, okay, so it is a thing where there's um the belt, the radiation belt that we can't go past. Here's the thing though, I did learn this recently because
Yeah.
so supposedly that was still an issue back when they, landed on the moon.
Okay.
They just went into like in it like really
Oh, like real
fast.
quick.
Like they really say that if you can actually look it up and that's how they got around it because I think that because that guy said that we lost the technology
That's
they
so
had
bad.
they had to come up with something and then they were like no we just and at an appropriate angle
Oh, the
that
angle,
it was like like
and then
so
fast.
here's like there's two belts apparently we went like
Oh,
like
okay. Well, that'll make sense.
yeah that's the way it happened.
That's unbelievable.
It was really funny.
There's that great clip out there, the NASA guy, who they're like, "Well, why haven't we been back to the moon?" And he's like, "Oh, we haven't really like lost the technology to. We just couldn't find it in the files or whatever." All these years later, we're coming up, what, 70 years later, no one's been back and set foot on the
But
moon.
too tedious or something, he said, to put it back together, or
Bullshit.
really hard or something. It was very
I
hilarious.
know,
Well, I
like,
mean, like,
and the way the world is now, the fact that no one has been back up there, the fact that they haven't like portioned off the moon to different corporations. There's like the Coca-Cola quadrant.
totally.
There's like an LCD screen up
There's
there
a
that's like
sports arena.
totally.
So I don't think people realize because anytime I bring this up to somebody, they Google it immediately that that no humans besides the first couple
Right.
people
That have been back there.
the 50s.
Right.
Since then, no humans, not
Humans.
not other
From,
countries.
from anywhere. Not even.
China hasn't been there. Russia, who was in the space race with us,
No one's been back.
but what did they just give up since they didn't win the space race? Which
Oh,
no one really won. But like,
Forget it.
right? Like they had probably built a lot of stuff, and like, no, they just decided. Here's what I want to know. How did they kind of get all the governments to just sign off on like not bring up the fact that like America clearly did not go to the moon.
Yeah, right. It seemed like some backdoor mafioso shit
Um,
that was like, we went to the moon first, right?
Right?
You like those prices you're getting for our wheat?
Right.
And it's like, all right, fine. Yeah, you guys went to the moon first. I don't know. We sell shit. Wheat's one of them, I bet.
I just don't think that that would be enough.
The
Yeah.
fact that no one's so the fact that no one's been back to the moon leads me to only one of two conclusions. A, we never went to the moon and still haven't been to the moon. Maybe, and this is a maybe, we did go to the moon, and whatever the fuck we saw there, all the other countries huddled up and they're like, all right, we're not going
That's
back there.
the only possibility that I
Nobody needs to
would
go.
come up with.
Because, you know, some country was like, no, we're going to try to go to the moon.
Right.
Other countries are like, dude,
No,
not the moon.
right. You will
Hey.
get the whole world destroyed if you do that or something like
Do you
that.
think countries talk to each other like, hey, bro,
Dude.
hey,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I think they all work together against the massive or like the majority of society.
and it's the same thing with Antarctica. All the countries are like, we're good on that. We don't really
Right.
need to have any of it. We're just like, we just kind of agree that like we can research
Right.
these zones.
Yeah, you have to research.
You guys know something because you'll fight over a 10-inch by 10-inch plot of land and kill a bunch of fucking people for that.
For hundreds and thousands
There's an
of years.
entire continent where the whole planet goes, no, we're cool. We're just going to
We're
kind of be
gonna-
cool about this.
Well, you know what? We're gonna share it.
Right.
We're gonna share.
Right. So that, and like, is it any wonder that when it comes to the moon and Antarctica, those are two very mysterious places where people have a lot of questions
Yeah.
about what's going on. So you want to pick something?
Yes. I just find it very weird that like since the 50s,
From the 50s.
no person besides those first two like missions, nobody else has been to the moon. It's wild.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Healthcare. Have we done this one already?
Yeah.
It's not stay away the friend. What are your fears? Mychal has a fear.
Oh, I've had a handful of
That's
years.
full.
I don't really fuck with spiders
No.
for sure. Don't like spiders. I'm afraid of heights. Those would be the big things, I guess. Those would be like the two things. So if there's ever like a gigantic spider way up high and I'm for some reason in that scenario, it's over for me. It's a wrap.
Remember that one time we were camping? It was actually during our moving back to Chicago from Los Angeles. And we had stopped at the KOA camp and
Bravely.
bravely and like we're camping. So I had no idea. Like, so I was joking. I was sitting on a park bench and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a spider over there on the bench.
Mhm.
And he lost his
I
mind.
lost it. And it's really like the straw that broke the camel's back, you know, because I had driven like 600 miles that day. And like, you know, the manly man that I am probably unloaded and set up our tent and did all sorts of things. And while you were just like sitting there, like looking at your nails or whatever. And then you point out the spider and I lost my fucking mind.
He had to walk it off. And I was like sitting there like, is this real?
I did. I was so mad about the little spider. Little spider that size of my thumbnail. I was so mad about I had to go for a walk.
There's probably thousands and thousands are just all around you. Was that before or after the comet didn't hit?
I was on the way to Comet Safety Zone.
So you were probably stressed because
I was super stressed. The comet was coming in like 2 days.
it actually makes more sense now that I know all of this. I was telling my sister, like, 'cause she's like, I don't think I knew about the comet situation.
Yep.
And then I was like, you know what? I don't know that I did either. I knew that the comet was a concern, very big concern, but I didn't know that we were necessarily trying to get to the Colorado. I just thought that was the plan that
It was
we
a safe zone.
that we were gonna camp there. But yeah, and that was a
It hit the water and then the big wave came and it would take out the East Coast of DC and then everything would the whole the new capital of America would have been Denver and we'd have been right there, like, you know what I mean?
but you know that I don't want well, you know now that I don't want to survive a situation like that.
Okay, well,
It's hard to handle.
I wanted to survive it.
I
And then I was like, I wanted you around, so I was like, well, all right, let's drag her up in the mountains. But it's funny, ever since talking about that fucking comment, I've had like 3 people be like, why didn't you tell me about the comment? Well, obviously I didn't tell you about the comment because at this point you'd be still going on about how, remember when you told me about that fucking comment and the comment never came, you moron?
They were also hurt for sure that like 2 people that I know of like were actually a little kind of butthurt that you didn't tell them
Yeah,
about.
man, they-
We're just gonna let them die.
I think it's because like there was obvious like a 10% chance at most that I was even remotely right. And I was like, it's just embarrassing, but I'm gonna go like
You just made the call,
give it
but
a
we're
shot.
certainly going to make sure, not in a small way, a big way, that you were safe.
Yeah, up at the mountains, outside of Denver. It was pretty rugged. Worked out great for me.
First, just because that reminds me, is the Rapture Day. Rapture Day.
Yeah, by the time anyone watches this, it'll be an old reference.
Well, so if you've been left behind,
I think we all got left behind.
well, did you see a bunch of people get raptured?
I didn't.
Either did I.
But like,
That's gonna be shitty when they find, because apparently they've been giving, like, people think that the Rapture is today, which is September 23rd.
right.
And well, they said 23rd to the 24th. They gave themselves some wiggle.
Oh, okay. So maybe that's till tomorrow.
Yeah. So, but they're like giving away all their money and like leaving, food and stuff, like, which is nice, behind for us heathens,
Yeah.
that did not get raptured.
They got to think ahead on that and like, post date the check for all their valuables and be like, here's 800 grand. This is all of my money. And it's good to cash that in 3 days. And then when it doesn't happen, like cancel that shit.
No, like there was a Uber driver that got cash, like 1,200 or $1,700 or something like that, from these people who were just giving, because they were trying to give, and then they're trying to give all sorts of stuff away, like after that, like cashing in their 401k, and this man is taking full advantage, which I find a little. And he's recording all of this, and he's like, I just got out of this meeting, with them, and he's like, all dressed like in a suit, and he had like apparently went to a meeting that was, talking about like divvying up their wealth or whatever, and like giving it out to multiple people. I'm like, okay, I would be telling them like exactly what you said. Like,
Yeah.
let's post date this. If you indeed get raptured,
Right.
sure, I'll take it for sure. But if you stay here, I'm not gonna do. I couldn't do it. I couldn't
Also,
do it.
like, what is the rapture? What does that look like? Is it a physical rapture?
So
Like, do
this
you actually up into the sky,
Yes,
like the body and everything?
this
Up
other
into
lady,
space.
yeah, this other lady she was explaining to not look down.
Wow. So
Yeah,
like rapture advice.
she was tips and
Like
tricks.
tips and tricks on how to get raptured.
Yeah, like properly, or like the nicest
Okay, so
way
what?
possible.
So that's theorizing then that heaven, where the people getting raptured are going to, is like up there in this like in a physical
It's
sky,
above the clouds.
above the clouds,
Or,
below space. So the heaven's up there. I mean, that's some like
yeah.
clubs or whatever. So okay, so the body's getting raptured. Everybody's like, oh shit. Okay, first of all, hold on, I got some questions on this shit.
Oh, so
Okay, first of all, what if you're inside? Okay, like I'm in this room. So if I got raptured, I would just hit the ceiling. It doesn't. So you have to be outside.
you have to be. Do you
So
think
is there
they're
like
all
maybe
staying outside?
maybe there's like a voice that comes on like, hey man, you're about to get raptured. Do you mind going outside?
Gone
And
outside.
then you explain that like if you're in a work meeting, do you be like, I gotta
Mm,
go. I'm gonna get raptured.
do you think you
So I'm sorry. I know now
you
it's
get
not.
some looks, but then you disappear, so it doesn't really matter.
Does the rapture ever malfunction? Does anyone get like a little ways up while they get stuck? Or,
Well,
like,
what if they like, God was like reviewing some like of your past, and like,
oh,
and then
missed
you
this.
just fall back to earth, like,
I would hope they would at least like unrapture you at a decent speed so that you can like land and be
no, in the
comfortable.
Bible, he's kind of like,
I feel like a real big person. No?
no, that doesn't matter. They have technology in place to
Well, it's like
account.
the airline thing. It's like, should they have to like they have to be like double good in order to get raptured? It takes like twice as much
I
energy.
think so.
Well, all right.
Oh, but also, so when people go to space,
Mm.
bringing back space,
Okay.
do they pass by heaven?
Yeah, this is all just beyond me. Clearly.
Like, is it just like space is like this much
So you go past heaven
heaven
into space,
or
and then boop, boop, through the Kuiper Belt, and then to the moon. That's a hell of a journey.
you have to go like past the radiation?
Yep.
Like
Exactly.
complicated, you know?
All right. What's some weird shit about your job?
Well, just like being real, like I love the fact that I do get to know people, like, but people over years and years because I'm a hairstylist. So people are in my chair and I do mostly color. So I am with people for like 3 hours. So I get the intel into their lives and they get the intel into mine. And so it is interesting. It's a unique experience to have relationships over time.
Oh,
'Cause
sure.
I've worked since I was 15 and I've had jobs, like many, many, many jobs. But like that is something that I've never encountered and is so cool. It's an interesting thing. It is weird too.
Yeah, I've worked in restaurants for so long, and I would say that just like anything else, I think the inside baseball behind the scenes, like a lot of times you'd be shocked at how dirty things are behind the scenes, or like, I've worked at a restaurant where there's like, bugs and things like that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, where like you're back there preparing something, and like, if you're about it, thinking this is a nice place.
They drop it or drop like a steak on the ground and then they're
I
like,
haven't seen that.
wait, no,
I haven't seen that.
someone told me about that. But I
Picking up stuff with their fingers and like, oh shoot, and then they grab it with their fingers and put it on their plate. Yeah, that stuff's
oh,
just like you'll see that
like
stuff.
so I used to work at this restaurant and they had like the dish pit was very strange. It
Yeah.
was like a conveyor belt
Mm.
and then water just like shot down at it. But like you know, there was like pasta noodles like still stuck to this thing when it was all the way back around to the end and you're like,
Yeah, this
oh,
can get gross. But like at tables too, like you never know what you're. I've seen divorces happen at tables,
are you
birthday.
like,
Oh yeah, for sure. Breaking up. Maybe I guess maybe one. I can only put to one divorce, but a handful of like breakups. You come back, check on everything, and like she's gone, or
yeah.
more likely he's gone, and like she's like been crying and just wants to check, and I'm like, oh, it's like, and then I gotta like go 3 feet to the right and be like, hey, how's it going, everybody? You're just a chameleon, and it's kind of the same in your line of work, I imagine.
What a weird job that you've had.
A weird job. I guess like my first job was kind of weird. I was the puppet greeter at the Rainforest Cafe. So like when they'd call for your table and you'd come up, I'd be like, enjoy your adventure. People be like, you dork. You know,
I like that though. It was nice.
I had a little safari hat and like a frog pin.
And I feel like you really probably
Oh, I worked that shit.
yeah, like you
Yeah.
went all out and like really, yeah.
Yeah, I got let go from that job for hiding Beanie Babies and then finding them when my mom came to buy them. That was back during the Beanie Baby craze. We made a lot of money on Beanie Babies and went on vacation and shit. That was pretty cool. But I did get fired from my very first job for hiding Beanie Babies.
I'm not all of that surprised, and that your mom was involved is not surprising either.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't have like as many weird jobs, so that's just one of his weird jobs. But I did work at an exotic animal hospital as a receptionist.
And exotic animal dancers,
Yeah, they were sluts.
like
Like little monkeys.
crafty
Back
monkeys, and like with the
back
knees.
then, monkeys were still allowed to be pets. So they would just like come in and put them on my desk and
That's
just like
cool.
pick up like my pens and stuff, and like it was very cool.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in, giving us a listen again this week. This has been American Trash.
American Trash,
See you next week.
episode 3. See you next week.